This is Debut Buddies. It's your fortnightly podcast about firsts. It's a me, Nate. I'm one of the buddies.
It's me, Luigi. Kelly. It's me, Kelly. Hi.
It's me, Chelsea.
Yay!
Another buddy.
If you couldn't tell by our audio realistic
Uncanny
impressions of classic video game characters, we're talking about the very first video game film adaptation in the form of a live action film that was released cinematically, which is a lot of caveats, but you know what? You're not thinking about that. What you're thinking about is 1993's Super Mario Brothers, the one and only video game movie that truly understood its source material and followed it to a T from A to B and all the way to C. And because Chelsea has a very ardent and I would say almost concerning love for this movie, she is going to take the helm and guide us on a mythical journey from Brooklyn to
Dino Hatton.
I don't know what happened to Manhattan.
Underneath
Dino Hatton. We're in Dino Hatton. Well, I'm excited to take you guys on this journey. Should we start with pre-production and talk about what happened before the movie even started to happen?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
It's a mess.
It is.
So we know kind of a lot of members of the cast, but most of the roles were offered to other people prior to the people it actually landed on. And do you guys know any of the people it was offered to prior?
I did read,
because I've got a very long list that is astonishing.
Okay, tell me more. There was somebody I read who was offered Luigi, and I was like, what?
Really?
But now I can't remember who it was.
So I have that Jonathan was on
Jonathan. Yeah.
Like
we're on a very formal basis.
I was like, I'm done. Well, I have Johnny L.
Johnny Legs.
So I was like, well, I have Johnny L and Sammy M forever because they ended up dating during the movie. But those are the only two that I have that didn't have it offered to anybody else.
Oh.
So Bob Hoskins not originally part of the team.
No, not at all.
Now Bob Hoskins definitely did not know what he was getting into either, but we'll maybe get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I don't think anybody understood what they were getting into. They all thought that they were getting into something, but what they thought that they were getting into was not the thing that ended up being a movie. King Koopa, let's talk about him. Ended up being played by Dennis Hopper. Great, love Dennis Hopper. Was originally offered to Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Keaton, and Kevin Costner.
Oh, wow.
And they all turned it down, shockingly.
I don't
know why you would.
That's what I had read. That's what I had read, not Luigi. It was that. I was thinking of Arnold.
Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Keaton might have been good.
Oh, yeah.
I could see Michael Keaton doing it because it would have been a similar to Beetlejuice sort of performance.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Over the top.
I guess I get Arnold because he's big and he could be I'm big, I'm a dinosaur. But like I don't no. And then really
and Costner.
Like, Costner, the most wooden available male lead. And also in 1993, he's like fresh off of Dances with Wolves. Like you're going to get this Oscar winner.
Like, Mr. Dances with Wolves. Is this pre or post Waterworld?
Oh, it's way pre. Because that's like 97, I think.
Yes, another wonderful movie.
97.
Man, are you guys just learning that my taste in movies is just complete shit?
No, Waterworld is great, and I'm going to stand by it.
I think what it is you like box office bombs that became
that's true.
That became cult classics.
Cult classics.
I don't know if it is a cult classic based on what I've heard. Like in 2016, there was a miniature resurgence, but it still sounds like everyone thinks that this movie is shit. But I still maintain that it's a perfect movie. And if I was stranded on an island, it would be in the 5 movies I would bring with me.
Ironic,
on an island
with a world of water. You're going to be on an island with it.
Oh, not Waterworld.
Oh, this movie,
with Super Mario Brothers. Oh,
I was going to say,
I would bring Waterworld.
You know what?
Too.
Both of
Perfect.
them. Waterworld, Super Mario Brothers. What are your other 3?
Yeah,
you can only have 5.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. The 3.
All 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you're gonna. That's why I made it
top 5,
the rescue plane comes.
Yeah, I mean that definitely maximizes hours.
Yeah. And if I have the extended edition, I can watch all of the commentary, which is
Mm.
the best part of it. Anyway,
Chelsea,
back
can
to
I ask
Super
you?
Mario
I got to ask you a serious question before we. Sorry,
Yeah.
this is going to be how this goes because you're trying to do things, and we're going to
No,
distract
that's
you.
what we need to
Peanut
do.
gallery alert.
Do you have romantic feelings of any kind for Dennis Hopper? Because Dennis Hopper is also in Waterworld as the villain.
No, I don't. I do
Okay.
not have romantic feelings for him.
But
Or
you
do you
do
have
have
like? How do you feel about the
feelings.
movie
Oh, you guys
Speed?
are-
You like Speed?
I have not watched Speed, which is
Oh.
shocking because I do love Keanu. I need to. Maybe
Oh.
it will. One of our episodes will be my first viewing of the movie.
The first Speed. Chelsea's
That
first
sounds
Speed.
perfect. I'm so excited. But I like Dennis Hopper because I really liked Easy Rider,
Yeah. Okay.
right? Yeah.
And also like I mean that tells a lot about you too because that is an interesting movie to really like.
Well, it was one that I had watched in high school, and I was like, this is a movie.
It's a fucking film, absolutely. Like it's something. It's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't have any. I can't think of any time I was like, yeah, Dennis Hopper, you can get it. If we had to go with anybody in this film, it would be John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
I
hands
feel like when
down.
I was young, I was like, yeah, John Leguizamo. That
I
guy.
have several
that
notes
guy.
about his shirtlessness when they're walking through the desert because it was
Mhm.
like, wow,
Mm.
dude. You
We're
know,
doing this.
well, he's pulling off that early '90s attractive male body that is not like I have lifted all of the
Oh,
things
yeah.
for months before this. He's like, no, I like, I picked up stuff and I
dude.
walked around.
Just a normal dude.
Yeah.
I plumb. I'm a plumber.
Hold on, wait. I've got to bring my bisexual energy to the podcast. Also, the princess. She's a fox.
Oh, yeah.
And there is
Yeah.
definitely, because you mentioned that they actually dated, there is chemistry between them and you can see it. It's
Mhm.
probably when Samantha Mathis's acting is the best, is when they are interacting with each other.
Mhm.
Because the rest of the time she is reading off of a cup or
Yeah,
whatever is in the room.
Yeah.
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 Agreed on that. The best part is the story of how Mario became Bob Hoskins. So originally, the person who expressed interest was Dustin Hoffman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, left field. Am I right? Don't worry. it's
hey, I'm
crazier.
plumbing here.
It'll get crazier. Wait for it. So Dustin Hoffman then ends up not doing it. I don't know if it was like scheduling conflicts. And then
No, he
it goes-
read the script. And was
no,
like,
no.
Oh.
The original script was not that.
We're going to get into the
Okay,
script.
sorry.
stuff.
Go
And then
on.
you'll be like, oh, it makes sense because the script was this at the beginning.
I know that
Anyway.
it got crazy rewritten. Okay, sorry. Go on. Go
It
on.
did get crazy rewritten, but the first iterations of it were anyway, we'll go back.
Mhm.
So the next one is kind of an obvious choice that I would have loved to see. Wait, who would you want to play? Who would you want to play
Who
Mario?
do I want to play Mario in the 90s? John Leguizamo.
Just everyone playing every character. It would
Yeah,
be
it's a
Luigi,
real
don't know,
meet the
like-
clump
Luigi Mario.
situation.
Pacino,
What?
Oh,
I
De
guess that's
Niro.
fine. That would make
De
sense.
Niro.
Okay, you guys are going okay. You're going good. I was gonna say Danny DeVito. So they had offered it to Danny DeVito, and he
Okay.
also was like, I think he thought about it and then turned it down. But most people like weren't super against it. But this is the one that gets me. This is the one that gets me. And it was offered to this person. They were going to play Mario. Are you guys ready?
I'm bracing myself.
Wait, hold on. Should I guess this
Yeah,
one too?
try to guess, please.
Brad Pitt.
No.
But is it that level of absurd?
Yeah.
Tom
Maybe.
Cruise.
No.
Oh,
Wouldn't that have been crazy if we said it in unison and
Yeah, that
that
woould've
was
been
I was
crazy.
just
That
thinking
would've been
he's
great.
almost as tall as Danny DeVito, so it would track.
Yeah.
You're closer with that one.
Val Kilmer?
No, oh my God, no. I would have led this entire thing with that. I wouldn't have even had to, like, before recording, I would have had to get on and just tell you guys. I would have just screamed it multiple times. No, are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Tom Hanks.
Ah!
Oh, yes. Yes, of
Tom
course.
Hanks was going to be Mario. And the reason that he was not Mario is the weirdest reason. He had a couple flops because it was after the Burbs and I think Joe versus the Volcano. So they were like, this guy's not hip enough.
Oh.
He can't take on a serious role.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
And then that year, instead of, they were like, I'm sorry, no, thank you, Tom Hanks. He was signed up, and then they were like, goodbye, thank
Whoa,
you.
what did he
I'm
make
sorry.
instead? What did he make? instead?
Philadelphia, and he won an Oscar. So, like, great job, Tom Hanks, for that serious role. And then Bob Hoskins came in, and then John Leguizamo was like, Bob Hoskins is associated, so am I.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of how
Leguizamo is so little in this movie.
he was approached the same year as Super Mario Brothers to do a TV show based on his life. And he said, I'm too good for TV, but not too good for Mario Bros. So
Whoa, why are we trying to make a TV show based on his life when he's a baby?
I think
he
that
hasn't
they have
even
actually
led his life yet.
well, so he was doing stand-up comedy at the time, so it may have been based on his set, I guess.
Okay,
It's a
what's his
Seinfeld
stand-up
scenario.
comedy
Yeah.
like when we saw him live?
I mean, he did talk about his family a lot, so I feel like it could still be the same set. I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe,
I
don't know.
agree. But maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was like going back to the pot.
Also, it
on
was a
that.
different time. Yeah.
It was, yeah. So Chelsea and I did see John Leguizamo live. Gosh, what was this?
12
9 years ago?
Oh, 9. Okay.
I was already
9 years ago.
9 years. We went and saw him live here in Colorado, and it was just deeply problematic from top to bottom. Like somebody was being racist. I don't know if it was him or me.
Yeah, like our listening, we were like, oh, we shouldn't be here. I'm sorry. Let's
What?
go.
I mean, that's sort of what I mean is like, I don't know, like either he was being racist or the entire audience couldn't handle like commentary about Hispanics. But I'm part Hispanic, so I feel like I could handle that. But I don't know. What I'm saying is I was uncomfortable there, but maybe he was like, they wanted to make a TV show about this material
story.
when I was a child.
Yeah.
Let me bring it back. And it just needed to be like updated for 2015.
Yep.
It's a pivotal year in our nation's development, 2015.
Oh.
Boy, things were about to change, huh?
Oh,
Were we ever so young? Speaking of, why didn't we get Trump to play Koopa?
That's who he's based off of, right?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh.
Is he's like he's
Okay.
he is Trump, and he's also all of Trump's fascist tendencies laid bare.
Yeah.
Nearly 30 years before.
This is a timeless movie. Timeless.
Damn.
really
So they
is.
knew he was fascist even back then. I was just like, he's got the same haircut and
This
holds
was a
his
very
hands the
progressive
same
movie.
stupid way.
Like a T-Rex, because
Like
he's
a T-Rex.
So
No,
like,
I know that's why Koopa does it. What's Trump's excuse?
because he loved Koopa. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe he modeled everything to be like Koopa. And he was like,
well, he's
this is the
crushing
coolest
it.
character I have ever seen. Let me kiss a baby and put it on a billboard.
He's doing an incredible Koopa impersonation.
This movie has
it's not
really messed up looking Twin Towers, and Trump notoriously said that when the Twin Towers were knocked down on September 11th, that his tower was now the tallest one in New York.
That's true.
So
That's very
just
true.
Food for thought.
Wow.
Oh
so
my gosh.
weird.
My note on that for the movie was just the Twin Towers dissolving. Never forget.
Yeah.
So let's get into the script.
There were so many writers on this script. You had the first writer, Barry Marrow, wrote Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman, who was going to be Mario.
There we go. That's why I was like, that's probably why he was like, I want to do this. This sounds right. But then the script was too much like Rain Man.
It was
they
too
were
much like Rain Man.
I'm sorry, we can't do this.
But did you hear the working title?
Oh my God, no, please tell me.
Drain Man.
Was it really? Oh, that's a joke. That was a good joke.
That wasn't me. That's not me. I'm not doing a bit. I read that.
Sorry. I feel like you're fucking
That's
with me. There's
absurd.
I pinky promise.
So because of this Drain Man controversy, Marrow leaves the project, and two new writers, Jim Genuine and Tom S. Parker, are hired. They didn't really have any formal credits, but they had sold one script. They had a lighthearted approach that was supposed to be fairy tales and modern humor. The Nintendo people, the executives and their producers, liked it, but the director was like, no.
Directors. Wait, no. We had one
The first director, Greg Beeman,
Beeman.
wasn't into it, so they passed. They were like, no thanks.
Okay, so just to like a footnote for the listener. There's going to be a lot of names and a lot of moving parts here.
And there will be a quiz at the end of the show. So if you want your prize for listening to this episode of Debut Buddies, you are going to need to start taking notes yesterday.
I was gonna say I'll make a murder board for everyone.
Yeah,
we'll do that. We'll do that, and then we'll post it on the Mastodon. I don't know, where are we? The Hive,
the Tumblr.
We'll put it somewhere, guys.
Yeah. Look, social media is dead. We're using mostly cave illustrations. I think is the only way we can
email us your address, and we'll send you a picture of the murder board.
Yes. Send you an 8x10 glossy signed by all 3 Debut Buddies.
Perfect.
So the next writers they hire were Parker Bennett and Terry Runt. Bennett and Runt wrote the thriller comedy Mystery Date, and they were asked to add science fiction flair to the film. This script pleased the Nintendo people, the producers, and the directors. Great. But then all of a sudden, these 2 producers, Morton and Jankel, or no, the 2 writers, Morton and Jankel, sorry.
Morton and Jankel are the directors.
Are they the directors?
Morton. So first, this is what's going to happen, guys. I'm sorry.
Yes,
this is what it's like.
So Beeman was the original director, and then Light, the studio that was producing the film, was like, we don't like Beeman. He doesn't have a lot of credits. Please bring in Durgle and Morton. That's not the name. What was it?
Morton and Jankel.
Jankel.
Yeah. Okay,
that's a made-up name.
Well, it's a husband-wife duo. They had done a bunch of music videos, and they also did Max Headroom.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's why I'm talking about the timelines getting all wonky. Yeah. So like you have a director, changes director, script keeps going through different iterations.
So they get this lighthearted thing. Nintendo likes it. The producers like it. Presumably Morton and Jankel like it. But then boom, all of a sudden, Morton and Jankel are just, no, this script's boring. We don't like it. They want something more like Ghostbusters. So they ask for another rewrite. Nintendo gets scared. The producers and the people who are financially backing this project are all like, whoa, fuck, what's going on? Look, I've heard about 1 writer. I've heard about 2 writers. And I've heard about 5 writers, but infinite writers? Oops, all writers? We can't have this serial. This is terrible for us.
You know what? I'm taking Ghostbusters to my desert island with me. Ghostbusters coming along. I'm building my 5 while we
as we go along. At the end of the episode, you best have all 5.
Okay, stress.
So Bennett and Runt, who had done a rewrite before, rewrite the whole damn thing. They introduce Dino Hatton, where the dinosaurs never left. They evolved in modern times. And there's just more and more pressure coming in from the financial backers. So eventually they both get fired. Mm-hmm. And Dick Clement and Ian Lefrene are hired to rewrite the film yet again.
Every single one of these names are fabricated. Did you guys check your sources? This feels like it's somebody making things up.
I am reading a Collider.com article, and Collider, I hardly know her.
Okay.
The first draft of Clement and Lefrene's rewrite is like Die Hard. It's an action-packed movie.
And they were supposed to have a Bruce Willis cameo in it, and it didn't end up happening. So, perfect movie.
Who would we have had Bruce Willis play if he was going to be in this?
He could have been Toad pretty easily.
He could have been Toad. Really, I think it would have been funniest if he... Wait, is this post-Die Hard or pre-Die Hard?
Post-Die Hard, because they had written Die Hard.
Post-Die Hard. Okay, so I think it would have been funny if we were doing like a Bruce Willis cameo, like during maybe the escape from jail scene. If he like somehow came in and like busted something open and there were like pieces of broken glass on the floor that he had to walk on barefoot for whatever, like a Die Hard callback is what I
would put him in when Mario and Luigi are escaping through the elevator where they make all of the Goombas dance.
Yes.
If they are popping their way out onto the top of the elevator and then John McClane is on the top of the elevator like,
yes,
what are you guys doing here?
Okay,
like,
I'm sorry, but we have to do another rewrite of this script.
Yeah, we do. We're doing it now. Fair. They don't like that much, so they request another draft.
Wait, who's they?
The producers and stuff.
Okay, I was like, the actors and the directors loved the
Yeah,
script.
actors and directors liked it. The producers didn't. So they did
Yeah.
a second draft of the same Die Hard script. And apparently that was good enough that Nintendo, the directors, and the producers all were on board.
Yes.
And Bob Hoskins signed on as Mario based on this Die Hard-esque action movie.
Yep.
As well as Leguizamo and Dennis Hopper. Which you can totally make sense because Hopper's doing all like
Right.
arch villains during this period in his career. And Hoskins is like, yeah, cool. I'll do like a leading man role. I'm coming off of playing like charming characters in other films. And so now I'll be like a tough guy and that'll be cool. And you can see that when you watch this because I think the most compellingly delightful thing about this whole movie is that from scene to scene, it is a very different movie that everyone is in. And you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is scene to scene, tonally and structurally different. Like some scenes are full on an action movie. Some scenes are
a rom-com,
shot for shot theft from the film Home Alone.
Oh.
And some scenes are
That's
like
fair.
Three Stooges, like literally Three Stooges, like Screwball, Goofy, whatever. And it's wild.
I feel like
I
you
like
focused
it.
a lot on two specific characters in this movie.
Oh, no,
Is
but
that who you related
Mario
to the
and
most?
Luigi.
No, those are not the two.
No,
I know,
even
I know.
yeah, because like I know Iggy and Spike are like the slapstick people, but there's also like there are slapsticky things that are happening throughout.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
making the Goombas dance in this
Yeah.
tense escape sequence is kind of silly. The way that like Big Bertha is both supposed to be a badass, but also like then we have this weirdly sexy dance sequence where
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins is lapping a stone out of her cleavage to
He's a hunk in this movie.
I mean, he's getting it wherever he goes.
Everybody loves him.
Yeah.
So, wait, is Big Bertha someone?
Yeah, giant fish. Or are we talking about in the movie or in Mario Brothers lore?
I meant, is that actress? Do I know her?
Actually, that was something I meant to look up because I was like, what's she doing
She
today?
was in a sitcom or something around that era.
She's super
she's very
familiar
recognizable.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get all these people cast, and the shooting's about to take place 2 months later in North Carolina. But then Eberts and Jaffe, I guess. I don't know who these people are now. See, the problem with this Collider
They're
article,
producers. Those are producers.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
These two
like,
producers.
I know this so in depth. I'm like, yeah, those are definitely producers.
This is perfect. See, this is
Chelsea's been memorizing this since 1993.
Maybe I had it on VHS.
They suddenly get worried. Oh, the script is too dark, and it's not a whimsical thing like the video game world of the Mushroom Kingdom. And so they blame Morton and Jankel.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Made up.
they're like, hey, we made a mistake with our directors. So they hire two new script doctors, Ed Solomon, who was a writer of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Oh,
and Ryan Rowe, a writer on Tapeheads, which I'm not familiar with.
sounds Canadian.
They hired these people without Morton or Jankel's knowledge just to make the script lighter. So they were like, hey, whatever. We're just going to hire people to fix your mistake in trying to make a darker movie. We're going to undermine you by making your dark movie light without you knowing, because surely this will create quality art.
Yeah.
So when the actors finally arrive on set, they're all like, hey, wait a minute. This script is completely different from the script that I read when I signed on.
Okay, sorry. I want to get back to this, obviously, but I did just look up Tapeheads, and it stars John Cusack and Jessica Walter.
Oh, great.
So add that to the list for me personally.
For our first watching of Tapeheads, that's an episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So most of the actors are thinking of quitting. And really, like, you imagine this scenario, because I think we've all been in a position where like a job we have had has been like, oh, this job sucks more than it was advertised.
Oh, yeah.
And imagine being a person who's like, hey, I turned down whatever. Like if Tom Hanks had turned down Philadelphia for this, and then the script was like, oh, instead of being like a badass plumber in a strange, weird world, you're in, we don't know, you're in this. I mean, that would
it
be
did
something.
ruin the career for most people associated with the film.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in another episode, we need to talk about what would have happened to all the movies that Tom Hanks was in if he wasn't in them.
Oh my
Yeah.
And
god.
who would have played that role?
Yeah, we need to
Oh.
stunt
The only
cast
reason that I'm not doing
all
it
of
right now is because
Hanks.
it will take the entire episode.
Oh
so.
yeah.
That's
No, yeah.
yes, no, and the
Mhm,
title of the episode
mhm.
is First Understudy for Tom Hanks. And we just
Yeah.
go through his catalog on IMDb
Perfect.
and talk
I love
about
it.
who
This
would
is
have played
gold.
that. Then they rehire Clement and Lafreniere to undoctor the script, which is weird because I know it's 1993, but I do feel like previous drafts existed.
Well, but here's the trouble: is they named it like we all name files. So it was like
yeah.
Super Mario Brothers .final .for real .jank.
Maybe.
What is it?
.jank.
.pcp whatever. So we couldn't find it because they were just named so poorly.
So they tried to. Those two people were not available, unfortunately. So you're not going to be able to de-jankify this jank with Clement and Lafreniere. So then they go back to Bennett and Runt, who originally introduced the sci-fi elements to rewrite it, and they are ultimately credited with writing the film. But they basically were like just stuck in the middle because neither the producers, actors, or directors were talking to each other at all.
I never looked up who actually got credited with it. I should have watched
these
the credits.
doctors,
I can't
you
believe
say?
that.
Yeah. This is bad. You have too many people.
This is too
And
many.
then to
It's too
boil
many
it down.
cooks.
Wait,
Yeah, like that.
I
thing.
don't agree because I love this movie. But
Oh no, I just mean
Yeah.
reputationally. It's a
Yeah.
perfect film. I agree
Yeah.
with you.
but having to be a part of it sounds like a complete nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, and I also read that like the actors didn't know that like things had been shifted around. So they arrive in what was it? It was a Carolina?
North
North
Carolina, yeah.
Man, fuck North Carolina. And they arrive
Okay.
there. And they find out that it's like a totally different movie than they had signed on for.
Yeah.
So mad.
According to this article, Hoskins and Leguizamo hated working on the film so much that they were just drinking the whole time.
Yep.
So they were just drunk.
Just like me at my job.
This may have been the cause of Leguizamo breaking Hoskins' finger during a driving stunt, which
It-
resulted in
Oh,
Hoskins
no.
wearing a cast for the rest of the shoot that can be
Yep.
seen in many of the scenes in the film.
Oh no.
I did not notice it even on this
Neither did
rewatch. I was not
I.
paying good attention.
I tried to pay attention for I saw the scene where it happened and I was like, oh, it totally happened here. There's no way because he has his hand
Whoa.
on the it doesn't shut. You don't see it shut, but you're like, oh, this is definitely the
Wait, so
time.
it's like in the beginning of the movie when they're in the
Yeah.
van?
Yep.
Okay.
And he
Oh,
has his hand,
no.
and then when he slams on the brakes, the door just shuts and breaks his finger. Bob Hoskins said he got stabbed like 3 times. Like he has a list of injuries he has from the movies. It's pretty
Yeah.
extensive.
So was everybody drunk or did John Leguizamo stab him?
It sounded like everyone kind of just they said that they partied a lot on set just because they all hated the director so much. And then they would wear t-shirts with sayings that the directors had that were like rude. Yeah, it's great atmosphere. At least you could
I love that. So just a little tidbit about Mamma Mia. They also drank a bunch on that set. Just having fun, just getting loose. I don't know if they hated everybody, and I hope never to find that out. I just know there was a lot of drinking on that set.
I feel like anything that Pierce Brosnan is involved with, people are probably just like charmed, right? He seems like he's charming.
Yeah. Well, and if
Yeah.
that's sort of why they had to drink is because his singing voice is so bad, and that's like
Oh.
hard
There you
to internalize.
It's
So
a
you
real
have to-
Russell Crowe Les Mis
You
situation.
have to just
Oh.
keep drinking so that you're like, this is good. I think it's good.
yeah, no, you're doing great, Pierce. You're great.
I love it.
Apparently, Dennis Hopper also just screamed at the producers and directors for 3 hours.
What? I didn't know about
Straight
this.
in character.
He's
Direct
also
scenes?
Hopper was about to deliver some lines that had been changed at the last moment, and not for the first time. He's dressed as a humanoid dinosaur, heavily made up in the sweltering North Carolina heat, hair gelled into weird row of reptilian spikes. Quote, "We're in the bedroom of King Koopa's skyscraper. It's a big set," recalls actor and co-star Richard Edson. I believe he plays Spike. Dennis comes in. He's looking pissed off. He's mumbling to himself. He won't look at anyone. So the director asks, "What's up, Dennis?"
Oh,
Something was
no.
about to go horribly wrong.
Oh no.
Oh.
He just starts screaming at Annabelle and Rocky. He's telling them they're completely unprofessional, that he's never seen anything like this. Rocky says, Dennis, what is it? And he yells, you rewrote my lines. You call this writing? This is shit. It's shit. And the fact that you do it without asking me. This went on for 45 minutes. The producers look in their watches. They're trying to figure out what to do, but he wasn't done yelling at them.
Whoa.
You know, you're pissing off like maybe your biggest name in your film.
I will say that doesn't look great on him though.
No. It's very much tracks with Dennis Hopper's personality though.
So it's Jinkle and who's the other? Sorry, I'm terrible at keeping the name.
Morton.
Morton
I
and
was
Jangle.
close.
So I think it was Morton that the male half of the duo
Of course, it was the man. Sorry, when I said I was going to be the peanut gallery, I meant it. I don't have any
That's
opinion.
fine. He did. I was just going to say he did have a recently in 2016. He had an interview where he talked about it, and he was like, he said something along the lines of he didn't seem to know where he was at any time. And he was very, 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 very difficult to work with. I'm pretty sure I'm not misquoting the varies, but I might be.
Was that the drinking, do you think? Or was he going senile at this point?
I don't know.
That could be the case. It could also just be like, hey, look, you take a job based on a Die Hard script. You get there. It's not that. You're like, you know what? Fuck this. And he's the kind of person who is probably like, hey, I've been in Apocalypse Now, Easy Rider.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a real actor, and you're going to pull this bullshit on me. I'm collecting my paycheck, but I will not be cooperative. You know,
that does seem like a real actor, like
say.
a real actor move. Is like, I'm not gonna fuck it up for this movie. And you're like, yeah, you're in it.
He's doing a diva thing, you know.
Saying like, yeah, okay, you're a real actor or whatever, big time air quotes, but like you did sign on to Super Mario Brothers.
Did you hear about what his son said to him after his son watched the movie?
Oh no.
This is a perfect film, great job.
He was like, Dad, why did you do this movie? He was like, to buy you shoes. And he said, I don't need shoes that badly.
Oh, okay. Aww. Don't be mean.
Also, like, what shoes are you buying with the movie? Like, he got paid probably real money for this.
I mean, Yeezys are really cheap.
One pair of Yeezys.
Yeah. Also, interestingly, Richard Edson and Fisher Stevens, everybody's favorite character actor of the 80s and 90s, who play Spike and Iggy, respectively, they just completely gave up on the script. And they improvised every single one of their lines.
Because they're perfect.
They nailed it.
Yeah, they do a really good job improvising their lines.
Love them.
It also fully explains why they feel like they're in a different movie. Because they are in their own movie of their own creation.
Apparently, John Leguizamo wasn't allowed to ad-lib, which is fine.
Did he talk about it in the stand-up routine that you guys saw?
I just saw the IMDb trivia about it, and he was like, he was upset about not being able to ad-lib. And I was like, are you telling me he didn't ad-lib half of that stuff? Because I just kind of made an assumption. This is my most quoted movie too. I know we'll get into that later, but
last tidbits that I have that are, I'll just drop a couple of sad factoids. Apparently, right. Morton and Jankel were giving conflicting sets of directions to the crew. So tasks were getting done wrong and then redone and things like that, leading to issues where at one point Rocky Morton poured hot coffee onto an extra because he believed the extra wasn't dirty enough.
That's also been contested, or at least he came out and said the story was different.
Maybe it's not hot. Maybe it's just like dirty
He said
water.
that there was a whole that I think the original Leguizamo was the first person who told about the story, and he was like, he threw hot coffee on this extra, being like, you don't look dirty enough, hot coffee. And then Morton came out later, he was like, no, what actually happened was I threw dirt on the guy, and I was like, this isn't looking good for you, Morton. And he was like, no, I put dirt on him, and I talked to him, and then I went up and I said, is it okay if I pour coffee on you? And then I put the dirt on you because it's not sticking. And then he poured the coffee, and the coffee was cold. But he screamed because of it being cold.
It's cold, yeah. Okay.
And then he was like, and then I apologized and I went and got him paper towels. And he was like, I wasn't that bad. But it does sound like there was like, I once again love this movie, but it does sound like a bunch of teenagers were just like around on this movie set, and it was a bunch of kids being rowdy.
Yeah.
And he was like, Leguizamo wasn't close enough to even see what happened. And I don't want to take the director's side because they sound like they were being. It was a bunch of teenagers and some angry parents. Like that's what happened. That's what the set was. And I'm not saying I take the side of the parents now, but I kind of am like, maybe things were not as they seem, and the answer is somewhere in the middle.
What's surprising to me about this is I did read a little bit, and everybody seemed to be talking shit about the directors,
Yeah,
and
they
then
hated the directors.
Leguizamo was like defending them at every point.
Whoa,
And so
really?
yeah, he was saying like he loved being on this movie, he's proud of
I heard
it.
the opposite.
Okay.
That's weird. I watched a YouTube video. It told me the wrong
man.
thing. I don't know where he sits.
I don't know where he sits, but the
sounds like
reason
no
I was
one's
surprised
proud
by
of
that is because I was like, this is a rare instance, based on what I read,
Hmm.
where Leguizamo is like
Not
anti the
interesting.
directors. So I didn't check my sources. No, actually I did check my sources, and here's what I discovered. I was
Yeah.
looking at the edit history of the Wikipedia
Oh.
page, which is the only thing I read. And the edits, it looks like there's sort of like some disagreement amongst Wikipedia editors.
There's a bunch of rewrites.
Interesting.
There's a bunch of rewrites.
Orton and Jankel hired
a bunch of people to
Well, and some
change
of the
history.
users were like anonymous 3642. So like,
That was me.
is it them?
Yeah,
You know
that was
what I
for sure
mean?
me.
So like,
I am a Super Mario Bros. Historian. I don't know. If
and
you
you
noticed.
were, and your birthday
Just the
is
movie.
March 6, 1942. So
How'd you know?
Yeah.
You shouldn't put it in your handle if you don't want people to know. Okay, so there's the coffee thing that probably didn't happen. There's also a report that a stuntman's pants caught fire. I mean, that
What?
kind of
I didn't know about that
that
one.
happens to stunt
I
people,
believe
though.
that.
I'm not.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal.
There was
And
another one where the girls almost fell off the mattress.
Yeah.
I believe that also.
You got a mattress crash. You got an electrician who died. Almost died.
What?
Didn't die.
Oh,
what?
Didn't die.
I
Oh,
was like,
God.
yo, there's a
Nearly died by grabbing an electrified lever, and so somebody had to like kick him off of that so that he
Holy
wouldn't,
shit.
so he wouldn't cook.
Oh, did we talk about who designed the set?
I
Oh, no.
want to talk about who designed the set. You go.
David Snyder, who also did Blade Runner.
And the reason I know that is because when I was watching the movie, I was like, this shit looks like Blade Runner. So I
Mhm.
Googled it and was like, ha!
Of course. Great job. I did not put those two together, so I'm really
It
impressed that you
looks
did.
like Blade Runner. It looks like a taller Blade Runner.
I
Like
just
Blade
thought
Runner
that
was very
the
like
time.
like low to the ground, and this was like
Oh.
expansive, which I think is because it
Interesting.
was meant to be like underground, and like the low, like the dinosaurs are here underneath.
Yeah, if Blade Runner took place in a aircraft hangar sized set that was designed to look like it was big but actually wasn't, because that's my other thing, is that this movie feels very compressed when you actually look at it. She's like, oh, there's really not, they don't have a lot of room to do any of this in.
No.
We're
No.
bouncing from very small space to very small space, despite the fact that it's Dino Hatton.
Mhm. Let's jump into the movie
Let's
itself.
talk about the movie.
The perfect
Let's do
movie,
it,
this
the
beautiful
perfect movie.
We basically open on some animation of some dinosaurs.
I love
and
them.
The asteroid. Apparently, the first, I guess I did have more fun facts. The first like test round, everyone was like, what is going on in the movie? So they added in the animation at the beginning to be like, don't worry, we're talking about dinosaurs, guys. It's fine. Also, I watched this movie very young. So it opens up on like basically a woman abandoning a child at a monastery or a church.
Yeah, the nunnery. Yeah,
Nunnery.
Yeah. So they
she abandons
open
an
it-
egg at a
It's
nunnery,
it's in
and a
little
human
cave.
baby hatches out of an egg.
So for the longest time in my life, because I did watch this movie when I was
Oh,
younger,
no.
I thought
Oh,
that
no.
I thought humans were in eggs.
Oh gosh.
And
The
I was like, humans
Arkansas
in eggs.
public school.
They don't tell you how babies happen. They don't
Boy.
tell you how they happen.
They
They
don't.
say the
They
word
really
mammal.
don't.
They don't explain what that means.
Oh man. You know
So
what?
I was like, cool. We come from eggs. That makes sense. I really definitely feel like I'm Daisy, so that's fine. I come from an egg. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we open on, is a mom abandoning a baby, and then King Koopa creeping out the mom, who is, I think, they're both played by the same person.
Yeah, it's just Samantha Mathis with like a 40s updo.
Yeah, very cute. I guess that's the dinosaur look.
Yeah. She's doing like tubular. Everybody in Dino Hatton / the Mushroom Kingdom
is actually
shops
50
at
years
Hot
ahead of us.
Topic and has punk haircuts.
It's perfect. I actually think I was born in the wrong dimension. Anyway.
Well, that's how she felt also. So maybe this egg thing
maybe I am. I've already decided that next Halloween I'm going to be Daisy at the end of the movie. Anyway, spoiler, Daisy doesn't die. Anyway.
Spoiler, Daisy teases a sequel that never happens.
I know.
It's so sad. So that's,
and honestly, like, I want to see that fucking movie. If Bob Hoskins weren't dead, I'd be down to see that movie.
We could get Danny DeVito. Let's get Danny DeVito in there.
Oh, man.
John Leguizamo is still going. I don't know if that would go as well as it did.
Let's try.
Let's try. Okay, let's do it. This is the time. People should experiment.
People should experiment.
Movies as well.
I just want to mention, before we get too far away from the like dinos at the beginning of the movie, those dinosaurs in the, I don't know, what is that? The Jurassic period. They do have Brooklyn accents. And they
established that the jungle is Brooklyn 40 million years ago.
I just love a dinosaur being like, "Hey, I'm eating leaves here."
Anyway, perfect movie. Just gonna add to that.
Perfect film. Yeah.
And so you have this whole setup of she gets abandoned with a rock that's attached to her little case, and she wears that rock whenever she gets older. So fast forward to present day, just kidding, 30 years ago. And what's happening is Daisy, who is that baby that hatched from that egg. Are we supposed to know that yet? It's fine. I don't give a shit. Anyway, she is a anthropologist working down in some mud.
She's in the Dumbo neighborhood of Brooklyn.
Oh, that's true.
Down under the Manhattan Borough Bridge.
Yeah.
And there is now a Shake Shack in the location of
what?
the
Are you shitting me? I just had Shake Shack the other day.
We love a Shake Shack.
Yeah,
we love a Shake Shack.
Shake Shack, if you want to sponsor the podcast, email us.
Yeah.
DaveUbuddies@gmail.com.
We love your little fries.
Yeah. I don't like a crinkle fry, but that crinkle fry, I'm okay with. And they have the cheese dip. Anyway, we're gonna go too far into that. I can talk about, I mean, if you guys want to talk about Shake Shack for like 40 minutes, I can do that. No, okay.
DaveUbuddies@gmail.com if you have a sponsorship opportunity.
We are in a time of poverty for Mario and Luigi. They are living in a one-bedroom apartment together as a middle-aged older brother and a 20-something younger brother, which raises questions about how old the parents were.
No, it was an adoption situation.
What?
Was it?
Wait.
Where did you watch a different version?
Yeah, where did you watch the movie, Kelly? Let's get into this.
Where did you watch it?
Okay, here was my understanding that Mario has like essentially adopted Luigi.
I thought it was that their parents died whenever Luigi was very young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was what I thought. Because otherwise, like, why would he be? Well, I guess he could take his last name, but
that's what I thought happened. That, like,
I mean, they don't look like they're from the same family, but
I think this movie was trying to say that Bob Hoskins, even though he's like 40-something, IRL was supposed to be only a little bit older than Luigi.
I also think that scene where he kind of describes the fact that they have no parents and that Mario raised him was the entire plot of the first script. And they were like, we'll leave this tiny, tiny bit in that it's important to establish that they have this really deep relationship, but then we're going to go fucking off the rails.
Rain Man. Yeah.
Rain Man.
Rain Man.
Rain Man.
And they are poor. They are living in squalor.
Yeah.
Mario is excited for a call to come in for a job, but their house is a dump. And then we also have this thing where Luigi's
they
watching.
Made the bed. It looks nice.
I thought it looked cute.
No, it's not. Look,
they kept it clean. I mean, Luigi obviously is Mario keeps it clean.
That place is like $5,000 a month now.
For sure.
Easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
and Mario's
it had
keeping it clean.
multiple windows. Like,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah, Mario's definitely keeping it clean because he's bringing what's her name back like every other night would be the
Daniela.
She's cute and
Daniela.
cutie. Yeah, Daniela.
And Daniela's like
Yeah, way out of his league. He's punching.
Way out of
Yeah.
his league. Yeah.
and so Luigi's watching an Unsolved Mysteries style news program.
Bum 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, no, just me with the Unsolved Mysteries. I feel confident in my Unsolved Mysteries. Robert Stacks could get it were he not dead.
Okay.
That trench coat.
It's a choice.
What's under there?
It's that
Show me,
trench coat.
Bobby. Show me. We've got missing girls. There's missing girls in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
There are.
One from Queens, but they never specify that until later.
And an important foreshadowing. Leguizamo uses that pin toy on his face. You remember the it's like a toy that's just a bunch of metal pins.
Yeah, what's the foreshadowing?
What's the foreshadowing?
It's foreshadowing Daisy pressing her face through the dimensional barrier in the rock, and that's the same effect that happens later in the movie.
That's fair.
What we're doing,
That's fair.
the directors are brilliantly displaying the concept of
liminal
lots of credit,
spaces.
lots of credit.
Yeah, we're doing liminal spaces. We're doing manipulation of your understanding of elements. It's fantastic, really.
Perfect film.
Oof.
Yeah,
Perfect film.
We've said it before. We'll say it again.
I think we've gone. So at some point, John Leguizamo, Luigi, as you all know as Luigi, meets Daisy, falls in love instantly. She makes a phone call. Scapelli's going down into the drains where she is archaeology, anthropology, and
wait, I have something. I have more fun facts.
Please.
So this was being
Shake
filmed at the same time as Jurassic Park, and
What?
so yes.
Sorry.
And so
Correct.
here's how I got there is
Apologies.
because you were like, he fell in love with Daisy, and I was like, Daisy is giving real Jurassic Park vibes. She's got the costume.
She looks like Laura Dern from Jurassic Park.
She looks like Laura Dern. Being filmed at the same time, so much at the same time that the animatronic set folk from Jurassic Park came over to the Super Mario Bros.
To make Yoshi. Sweet little baby Yoshi?
Not to make Yoshi. The Super Mario guys made Yoshi, and Jurassic Park was like, holy shit, this is really good.
Yeah, perfect movie. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so
perfect movie.
Jurassic Park came over to see Yoshi, and they almost hired the folk who made Yoshi for Jurassic Park. Yeah. And
amazing.
Yoshi had like a bunch of different iterations, and I think that the final one, I think I read that it was like $100,000 in 93. So like, how much is that today?
I don't know.
10
Understand
billion.
inflation. Yeah,
billion,
that sounds
essentially.
about right.
Yeah.
You could buy Twitter with one Yoshi.
You
back
could
then.
buy Twitter with a Yoshi.
I would
Who
keep
has
the
that
Yoshi.
Somebody has that Yoshi. You know, like we didn't like incinerate him. Somebody has
We
that
might
Yoshi.
have, and by we I mean not us for sure.
No,
but
I would never.
someone.
But maybe Morton and Jankel.
Oh,
Fuck those guys.
They said that Morton, I don't know about Jankel, did say that he was not. It's going to be really bad if I switch them up. But he did say that he was still proud of the film, which he is probably the only person associated with it. That's still, you said Leguizamo said he was still proud of that film, but everyone I've read has been like, I fucking hated that I ever have any association with it at all, and I hope that it burns in hell.
I did see that, but I didn't check the primary source, and I also didn't check the timestamp. So like maybe he said that like a week after the movie and now feels differently, or maybe he felt differently at the time and now
like years later everyone's been like, this is garbage. It's fine.
It's fine.
He said it at the meeting where he agreed to be in the script. He agreed to join, and he was like, write this down.
This is trash.
I am so proud to be in this film.
And that's where it's quoted.
But honestly, like Bob Hoskins is so good in this movie. Like Bob Hoskins is a gem.
Okay, I have a question. I agree with you, but I also have a question. He was incredible. He was great. I loved that he brought like real life plumber aesthetic to the movie.
Kind
My-
of. We're gonna get into some of the plumbing issues I have with this movie
Whoa,
later.
do you know
Well,
too much about plumbing? Whenever
I
they
do.
try to stop the pipes, is it incorrect? Do they use the wrong wrench? I always questioned that when I was growing up, and I was like, the way they're using that wrench would not close that pipe.
They did lefty loosey instead of righty tighty.
They are not generally doing plumbing correctly in this film. I will say
damn.
that. And they could have asked any plumber at one point or another. But then that's a 20th writing credit that you don't want a plumber involved in the script.
Okay, no, I do have a question about this. So, one, how much of this is canon? And two,
Some of it.
some of it. And
Probably
two,
percentage wise 10-15% maybe.
Okay.
I feel like it
Okay.
didn't go
Yeah.
as heavy into it as it probably
in
should
the
have.
video game, does Mario raise Luigi Mario? Or is that unknown?
There's not a story like that
Yeah.
in the video game.
Yeah, they're just like
Okay.
straight up brothers in the video games.
Okay.
So
And are they brothers by blood, or is this like
we
I'm
also
your
do
bro?
not know. I even played Luigi's Mansion and there's no further.
Okay, I am interested in Luigi's Mansion. Okay, so my next question is, this is maybe because I'm on Twitter too much, so I don't know how pervasive this thought is, which is that Mario is like the hunk and Luigi is like the dorky brother.
Kind of.
Yeah,
I
Luigi's
mean,
always kind of a doofus. So in
Yeah,
the
okay.
games, like in the first Mario Brothers game, there is no functional difference in the way they play. In Super
Is
Mario
Luigi
Brothers,
in that first game? He's in that first game.
yeah, he's just
Okay.
what the
Mhm.
second player would play.
he's a Mario
Okay.
brother. It's not Mario Brothers.
There's two of them.
That makes sense. That all tracks. Yeah. Okay. No,
In
that
the
makes
sequel
sense.
game, they introduce Mario is like a baseline character, so Mario's jumping height and walk and running speed, and his ability in that game to pull vegetables from the ground. It's just a thing in the game. He
Okay.
does all those things at a certain baseline speed. Luigi pulls vegetables slower, so he's a little weaker, but he jumps
I
really
see.
high. He can jump really high in the air, and he's double height almost.
And they carried on that jumping dynamic throughout the old or the newer games. As
Yeah,
well.
and Luigi continues to be taller than Mario throughout Mario 3 and beyond. He's always
You know
taller.
what? This makes
Mhm.
sense, right? In the movie, Luigi can like jump long distances. He does that a couple times. In
Yeah,
this movie.
Mario goes
In
ass over tea
Mario.
kettle trying to go into the
Okay.
cave portal.
Okay, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is they're both hunks in different ways.
I feel like I found Luigi attractive in the movie, but in the video game, there has been no sexual attraction.
That's reasonable.
But on Twitter,
I meant
saying-
like, yeah.
Mario's a hunk. I like Mario can get it. Is this a recent thing with the Chris Pratt voicing? We
No,
have to have a
absolutely not.
section
Twitter
about that at
fucking
the end.
hates that he's going to be Mario.
Great.
No.
I'm into that. Mario goes for Peach. I guess somebody who has an undying love and like goes through a bunch of trials in order to save the princess. I guess that's sexy. I don't know.
Right.
I play as Mario, so that is weird. I mean, I
So you do
love
have a
myself,
Mario
I guess.
attraction.
That's fair.
Sometimes you just need to rescue yourself from danger.
Oh, we're gonna get too deep. We're
Damn.
gonna get too deep. We're gonna get too deep. Rein it back in. Here's how I'm gonna rein it back in. Is what I'm thinking of mostly is people on Twitter who are like, everybody thinks Mario is the star, but people forget that Luigi had a mansion.
And he doesn't have the mansion. It's haunted, and he's trying. And then he gets freaked out, and every time he gets scared, he goes, Mario. He gets like, no, he calls out for his brother.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
He has a
He
ghost
doesn't have a
vacuum,
mansion.
and he gets very scared.
He's out. Yeah, exactly. Ghost vacuum, very scared. Kelly, I'm gonna make you play it when you visit. Thank you.
Oh no, I'll stay
No,
home.
it's already happening. No,
You can play it. I'll watch.
Clockwork Orange. We'll see. It's a 2-player. You can play as the vacuum. Sorry. You play as my goo ghost.
Can I
It's
play as a
fine.
ghost? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you'll play as my goo ghost. We figured it out, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
How do we get back?
So if you guys were to fall into that wall, how would you fall in? So they chase after Daisy because Daisy gets captured by Iggy and
Iggy and Spike.
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 who
And
it's
they
clear
go,
have been behind all the kidnappings because they also kidnapped Daniela by mistake.
they're
Yeah.
very
Because
dumb.
They're stupid and
They're
they
very
but
think
dumb.
that
wonderful.
yeah. Oh yeah. And
So
Fisher
stupid.
Could be
Stevens
true.
Fisher Stevens braided like Rasta mullet with very large mutton chops is
So
to die for. He
How would I
also
jump?
played Ben in Short Circuit in Brownface, as you might recall. He
Don't remember that. I only remember Johnny Number 5. I don't remember the plot.
yeah. There's an Indian character in that movie
Who's played by him?
who's played by Fisher
Okay.
Stevens in Brownface.
Yikes a do.
Uh-huh.
Yikes a
It
do.
was the 80s. Things were
Yeah.
worse. Fisher Stevens is going to go on to be in the movie Hackers very shortly after this.
Great film.
Great stuff. Hack the Planet.
Zero cool.
I think as far as me jumping into the wall, I would probably just have to like leap at it and crash in, assuming that I was going to die anyway, because I wouldn't trust that it's actually going to work. So I would probably like leap off of it and then curl into a ball and be like, fuck. And then if I went through, great. And if I didn't, I would just be a beautiful corpse at the bottom of that horrible under Manhattan Canyon.
That's what they say. Leave a beautiful corpse.
They do.
Aww.
That's the plan.
Okay, I've got 2 answers that one has been burned because of our current climate. I'm going to describe it. So, if J.K. Rowling were not a TERF, I would be doing the platform 9 3/4 tactic, where I just like run full speed at it.
So you would Luigi it.
I would Luigi it. Regrettably, she is a TERF, so I can no longer do Harry Potter things. So here is my alternate answer. I'm a belly flop into it.
Great.
I'm gonna do the funniest way possible. Like I want like the sad Mario noises to play if it's solid and I don't make it through.
I feel like I would be the most boring, and I would try to figure out how to fashion like a rope out of my clothes. He had tools.
Oh yeah.
He had his tools. Just stick that tool belt in, hold it, jump, and then if you float, let go. But then you don't have your tools, and you always have to have your tools.
And it's the only way anyone would identify you as a plumber.
Why
on
would
the
he
other
not
side.
have rope? Yeah, true. Good point.
You need that for
do
plot.
plumbers need a lot of rope?
Not usually, no. You could maybe have a plumb bob.
Drain snake.
Yeah, you could use a
That's
snake.
not
They're not that
yeah.
long, but you could use a snake for that purpose.
When were drain snakes invented?
I mean, at least
professional drain snakes
by
had to have been in the
1992.
70s. Yeah.
Probably by 92.
They existed.
Personal drain snakes, probably kind of recent, but oof.
When they get through there, we cut to Dennis Hopper for the first time. And Dennis Hopper does the most concise and specific exposition dump any movie could ever have. He's like, here's what's going on Earth.
Oh,
he knows,
gotcha.
like, this blew my mind because it's like, wait a second. No human understands that this is reality, but Dennis Hopper and literally everybody in Dino Hatton knows that other things exist. There's another dimension. They're trapped here. Sure. We can't get there. And he just says, oh, boom, here it is. Everything. And then he issues the most amazing plumber alert.
I loved that. Plumber alert. Do you guys think he knew what the word plumber meant? It didn't seem like he knew what it meant.
It seems like they poop too, though, right? Like they have to. Do you mean the character? Or you mean Dennis
They
Hopper?
have pipes. It's a non-union job.
But maybe they call it something else.
No, everything is exactly the same. It just,
you're right.
Except for the pizza toppings.
You're right. Well, yeah, he is pretty dumb. So maybe he didn't associate plumber with Dino Plumber. Just the way he reacted, they were like, there are plumbers. And he was like, plumbers? Plumber alert! Like he just like ran with it.
And everyone knew what a plumber was. They were like, tools, you're a plumber?
That old lady that tries to mug them because she needs Koopa coins. Fantastic.
Oh my gosh,
She's a cattle
love
frog.
her.
And then Toad is played by Mojo Nixon, who is a folk singer.
Okay. I could tell
He
that
got-
he was like
That's
someone.
one I didn't look up in the in between.
Mojo Nixon got popular for a song called Elvis is Everywhere that played on MTV2 for a period of time, and mostly wrote like protest songs. So this was just like, do you in this movie?
That's perfect, right?
Yeah.
So we already said
money.
that
Sorry.
Koopa is essentially Trump.
Yeah.
And yeah, Toad was like anti-Trump. We meet him and he's singing a little like anti-Koopa song.
And then Mario is ACAB all up and down. Mario was like, wait a second, you can't arrest him for singing a song. You can't arrest me for being a plumber. And they start talking about
up, down, left, right.
Because we get into civil rights later. Like all of the kidnapped women are talking about violations to their civil liberties. It is this movie knew what was going to happen.
It delivers. I feel like prophetic. This is the time. This movie is gonna have a resurgence.
Oh, it better. I mean,
it fits so unfortunately.
It does.
I did when I was younger think having to go through the police line would have to do with getting decontaminated and having to have blue liquid poured on you. I did not have parents that taught me anything. This movie taught me everything about life. Impossible, improbable, unlikely, but never impossible. That's great. That's my most quoted line. That's how I grew up to be the person.
Those are great distinctions.
But it's true. I feel like that was in my brain too. Did you ever fear that your lawyer would try to gouge your eyes out? Because
sometimes. Is this why I hate Trump? Maybe you guys. Maybe Trump's not that bad, and we just all watch Mario Brothers as children.
The podcast is canceled. Put up one of those technical difficulties posters. Well, and it's very much like, hey, wait, tonally, we were just doing like a zany cop car crash and an old lady with a cattle prod. Like things are wacky, and then suddenly it's like, no, real fucking violence right here.
So when you say it's a bunch of different movies, like I feel like that was put in by the Die Hard people.
Oh yeah.
They were like, this is a Die Hard scene, we're done.
Yeah.
And then the dancing Goombas is the rewrite to be like, this needs to be more fun. Probably in the original one, they murdered all of them, but they were like, nah, they just gonna dance.
Well, because they've got the stompers on, like, and in the game, you stomp on Goombas. No Goomba stomping occurs. But we do get also the horrifying effect of de-evolution that happens where Toad gets de-evolved.
Cretaceous.
By Koopa back to a tiny-headed thing. And I was still just like, why does his head get so small? Because
it went to Cretaceous, not Jurassic.
Well, yeah, they had tiny heads then.
But my understanding...
They were close to the primordial slime.
Also,
but I thought, okay.
Is that what was on the ground?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was poop.
I've
always thought it was poop.
Everybody evacuates their bowels when they get de-evolved.
That's what happened.
No, I'm pretty sure it's primordial slime.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm glad that you said that. Now that reframes everything.
No, I figured that, like, okay, you get de-evolved, your brain shrinks, but generally speaking, like, things' heads don't get smaller.
No, they did. Did you? With
fair.
Humans, at least, our heads were smaller before. They've like okay, so
but
for
our
example,
bodies also got smaller. Like we didn't have tiny little pinheads. Like I guess that's what's weird to me.
Their body got bigger.
It's like it becomes
smaller.
It's the body bigger part where it falls apart.
I would be fine if he had an army of Goombas that were little
like
guys.
frogs,
littler. Yeah,
if they looked like, oh, this is a less evolved version of this, but instead it was like, no, what if we only de-evolved the head?
I will say that I like the tiny heads, and I think they're cute.
They are cute.
I think they're cute.
When Toad walks over and
I do like that they have
the other guard and they make eye contact and they make a little smiley face and then the guard gives him a harmonica.
That was really sweet. I did love that. That's
adorable.
Probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
I love their tiny heads. I love that Toad, like, sure, his brain got shrunk, but like fundamentally, he's still Toad. His morals are still intact. I like that.
Mario and Luigi escape from this situation. Luigi explains that the reason why he knows how to operate this cop car in an alternate dimension is says playing video games. So playing video games, according to this movie, leads to extra dimensional car theft. That's what playing video games does for you.
Obviously.
And then the other funny thing here is while they're doing it, Mario says, "Now this is driving."
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, did George Lucas see this movie? And then when he wrote Star Wars Episode 1 of Phantom Menace and the line, "Now this is pod racing," did he
my God.
fucking rip off this movie?
Yes,
Because
he absolutely did. Yes. So he ripped it off. J.K. Rowling ripped it off. So far, we've got Platform 9 3/4 and pod racing.
So this is a perfect movie that inspired everyone. Oh my God.
Yes.
This is the basis of all of our pop culture currently.
It's flawless.
Amen.
The next note I have is Koopa saying, "What I like about mud is it's clean and dirty at the same time."
Gross. Also, how have we not said this yet? Fucking Fiona Shaw.
Yeah.
Fiona
Isn't she
Shaw?
in Harry Potter, speaking of?
She's on Petunia.
Yeah.
And I'm totally I don't even
She
think that
signed
I
on for
forgot.
an earlier draft of and she was very upset as to.
I'm certain that she was. But you said that Koopa was based on Trump. She even has the Mrs. Trump hair style.
Yeah.
Oh.
She has the Mother Trump hairstyle.
And she goes out the same way because she falls down some stairs mysteriously.
Prophetic. It's prophetic.
It is. So we're talking about when they de-evolve. So Toad's been de-evolved. But whenever they evolve, Iggy and Spike, and they just start talking about the proletariat and Marxism and how they were we need to rise up. And it was
Yes.
Is this what evolution is? Because are we here? Is that where we
I like that that's what the movie thinks. I like that that's what the movie says.
Same.
And I wish that was a bigger part of the movie, because having the two comedic characters be that part made me sad. And I was like, that is a big thing. And when I was younger, I was like, this is very lost on me, but I will repeat this line over and over again, not understanding it. But now as an adult, I'm like, I side with them.
Communists. I love it.
And they
want to overthrow the dictator. What was it? They said, you're oppressing the proletariat. You're an evil dictator. Is it exactly what they said?
They may have even said evil fascist. They definitely called him fascist. Yeah, it was oh my God.
It's been 3 years since I watched it. I don't know why I didn't track it 3 years ago, but God, perfect line.
They fucking lay it bare. And why didn't Koopa just make them smarter to begin with if the problem is they literally can't complete a simple task of getting one person they're supposed to get?
Because he didn't evolve himself.
That's what I was going to say. Why didn't he evolve himself?
Because he would become more empathetic and have to deal with wanting to help the proletariat.
But did he know that? Did he know that he would become more
I don't know,
empathetic?
because that would make him more evolved, right? To understand the regression that could possibly happen. I
think that it's narcissism. I think that it's classic Trump narcissism. He was like, sure, I could evolve myself, but what's the point? I'm already perfect.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys.
Because he's perfect enough that he's going to go into full-on Trump-esque rape mode with Samantha Mathis.
Gross, disgusting,
a scene later.
Gross.
And that is the grossest ass shit. And I remember that forked tongue coming out as a kid. But I don't think I clocked just how horrible this scene is, because it is real bad.
Yeah, I definitely did not remember this. It's
gruesomely
appalling.
Bad.
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi are wandering around the desert. Leguizamo's got he's popped that shirt off.
Amen.
Handsome.
And then Spike and Iggy, despite being very smart, still cannot operate whatever vehicle they're driving, and they manage to crash it off of a cliff into the mud.
I did think that was funny too, because it's that's also the criticism of hyper intellectuals, right? That they okay, great, you've thought about all of this theory, but in practice you can't do anything. So it's almost like we need a level in the evolution knob that when they're evolving or de-evolving people, that's in between somewhere.
So do you think that this movie predicted that highly educated college graduates might fall behind tradespeople when it came to the
Yes.
year 2022.
Yes, I do think that. Yes.
This movie is the crystal ball of our
I
reality.
know that we criticized the number of writers, but like somehow they
It's a perfect
figured it
movie.
out.
Yeah. Do we know for certain that there wasn't a Ouija board involved in the writing of this film? Because I think maybe that's where the answers are coming
One
from.
of the 15 writers had to have had like a direct line to
Satan.
the future. Okay.
No, your thing. Yeah.
Big Bertha steals the necklace from them earlier on. She's clad in red leather. She's got the stompers on, and she soars away.
This is a big, beautiful woman in this movie. In the video game, it is a giant fish.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know.
The more you know. The more
Thank
you know.
you.
Big Bertha is portrayed in the film by Francesca Roberts.
Mad Max vibes.
Yeah. She's definitely beyond Thunderdome with the outfit. There's a lot of exposed studs and spikes on the outfit.
I didn't play much of this. I played Super Mario Brothers on the Super Nintendo. And so the like exposed spikes, is that supposed to be like the like turtle?
I think it's
Bowser?
just that the aesthetic of Dino Hatton is rough, right? That these lizard people evolved into people who wear appendages that remind them of their lizardness.
Yeah.
At this point in the movie, we meet Yoshi for the first time because Yoshi is like chained up in the quarters where Samantha Mathis is going to be kept. But he's a little cute. He's a little cute boy. He's a little heavy on the tongue.
That's what he's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be like
he's heavy on the game, right? He
likes to taste and eat things in the games.
Yeah.
Then we also have a club sequence because Mario and Luigi get back finally to Dino Hatton and they get to a dance club.
Originally, this was supposed to be a strip club,
and it vibes
all
like
the dancers were strippers that were hired because it was supposed to be a strip club, not a family-friendly movie. So they had to but it does have that vibe for sure.
Mario has to go up and he's going to seduce Big Bertha to get the necklace back.
She punches him.
Yeah.
She doesn't just reject him. She assaults him.
That feels right, honestly. Like, leave me alone.
But he sticks with it. He sticks with it and he manages to get a dance. And then suddenly this club that has been like rocking like club music just drops for a slow dance. So that they can get real cozy.
It's very sensual.
It's He is
beautiful.
He is like getting in there. He's getting in there with his face to get the necklace from her breasts. He's doing a whole thing.
I feel like I would have noticed that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that she wasn't like, oh, he's trying to eat my necklace. That's strange.
Why is your mouth on my chest? Why are you fiddling with the clasp? Yeah.
Yeah. He's like rubbing. Well, I think she thinks it's like a fun game because he's rubbing the back of her neck in a weird way. But he's like, she can't see his face. They're doing a weird thing. And he's like tickling the back of her neck. But really, he's just untying them.
No, he's trying to
get that meteorite.
Get that meteorite. Not a euphemism. It's literally a meteorite. I don't think we've said that.
How can you?
Yeah, because Dennis Hopper says it's a meteorite. Almost like a scene after he calls it the Rock.
The Rock.
They needed to merge their dimensions. In case you guys haven't watched the movie, but go watch it anyway.
I will say I defend Big Bertha. Big Bertha sees Mario's mustache and is like, I love a man with a mustache. And I get it.
I mean, honestly, if we're talking about current, he did come up to her and he was like, I like it when you punch me. So that's like consent, but it's also like, I have concerns. I have concerns. But I mean, if that's what they consent to, it's fine.
Yeah, no, if they're doing like a casual BDSM thing.
And then she was like, oh, finally, I found a man that likes to be hit. Okay, I'm into this. And then that's when Bertha turns a new leaf. Falls in love, not turns a new leaf.
Mario and Luigi escape from the club, but then they're getting pursued, and Big Bertha shows up again and is like, hey, look, there's a secret passage to the pro-union, anti-fascist situation that we have through these doors. Go on through and take these stomper boots and gallop on, my sexy plumber man. And they do. And they finally get into costume. like the video game.
I know, finally.
It goes three-fourths of the movie without them being in Mario costume.
Which is fine. Like, people, look, fashion isn't about matching a game, I guess.
Sure it is.
I will say, in the beginning, when they're in the apartment and Leguizamo's being a slob, when Mario goes to his room, it's painted red. And I was like,
mm-hmm. I don't think they did that on purpose.
Boop, 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 doo.
So now they're wearing the clothes, and they have to trust the fungus, because the fungus is actually the king of all of Dinotopia.
And Luigi keeps insisting, despite Mario's doubt, I think it's trying to communicate with me. And Mario's like, it's a mushroom. What are you doing?
You put it on a
and
pizza.
He's like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And he trusted the fungus, and that was the most important. And then he ended up meeting the love of his life's dad, who is actually the fungus.
Big fungus.
Yeah, he's a fungus man. He grows on you.
But you mentioned earlier that she was like reading off of index cards her lines. Boy, can you tell in this scene. They're like, this is your dad. And she's like, oh, my dad is a fungus. Like, come on, girl.
Yeah.
Give me a little something.
I do like in this scene, Goomba Toad comes in to like offer her a horrible plate of like lizard meat, and she's like, "I'm a vegetarian."
Yeah.
And we hold.
I don't need anything with a face.
We hold on Toad, Goomba Toad, looking very skeptical of vegetarianism for a couple of seconds.
Aww,
and then she's like, "Can you get me like some steamed vegetables?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that. I don't know what you're talking about otherwise, but sure." And then the mean lady comes in, whose name I don't remember.
Fiona Shaw,
actress Fiona Shaw comes in, and Yoshi tries to eat her feet. So I have a screen cap to share with both of you. Just
no,
it is possibly
just trying to save little Daisy.
Yeah, he's just trying to save Daisy, but there is something sensual about this. Just
okay,
this looks like a weird
if you want to talk about sensual, the police scene with the woman who's just rubbing her heels on the police officer as he is booking them in.
Yes. Oh my God.
So they were like, let's redo it in order to be less or more family friendly, but let's leave in all the sexual content.
With feet specifically, was Tarantino somehow involved in this movie?
Definitely.
He was probably one of the writers.
He was a producer at the very least. Ew.
It was a lot about feet. That for sure. And that confirms it. Thank you, Nate.
Yeah. That's striking. And we'll post that image on social media for the listener, because it is something else.
That is a lot. Yeah.
And then Fiona Shaw takes the meteorite piece and tries to jam it into the rest of the meteor to permanently open the gate, and she gets like real electrocuted and then exploded, killed, fossilized into the wall.
Leguizamo has a joke in this, because whenever she gets electrocuted in the wall, her jaw does a ha-ha.
Yeah.
Which is what I do whenever I hear someone tell a joke that I think is funny, but I don't think is funny enough to elicit a laugh. So I come out with the ha-ha.
It's the courtesy.
And it's based on that. Like, but he's like, I can't remember. He did have one of those jokes in that moment. And I was like, yep, that's where I got it from. This is how I've been raised.
I really can't wait to rewatch this. This is going to be so much fun to watch again with all of our thoughts. Maybe we should just only do this from now on. We'll just come back and do this
really
movie again.
We're the first podcast that is exclusively focused on Super Mario Brothers 1993.
After rewatch number 162.
Oh God.
I still think it's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already there. So
we get some Twin Towers cringe here. Because now the real the dimensions are merging due to the meteor. So the existing Twin Towers and the wrecked Twin Towers are turning into the same things. The de-evolution gun that Mario and Luigi get are Super Scope 6s, which were accessories for the Super Nintendo that they just repainted. But the de-evolution like action is actually pretty cool. Like some of the special effects here are not terrible. Like they're not amazing, but they're not terrible.
So I did not go into this, so I cannot tell you specifics, but I did read that like some of the special effects on this were considered groundbreaking, and they
Yeah,
fundamentally changed the way that special effects have been done since then. Like the techniques that they pioneered have continued to be
I
in use.
believe it on the de-evolution of Koopa into the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like, it is
Yeah.
horrifying, that
Yeah.
lizard head. And I know that like they kind of cheated because they had to keep him in like a bin so that they didn't have to de-evolve all of Dennis Hopper's body, but they just
Oh,
had
sure.
to de-evolve they're
That's
saving money.
still
But it's still like really scary.
because it would go not like it went to a T-Rex only for moments, but it would just keep molding between the two. And I was like, oh, what is happening?
which I felt like even that was commentary. Like, okay, we're
Oh.
de-evolving him into a T-Rex, but we're like flickering in and out because the state he was in already was
He was
like
already pretty de-evolved.
so de-evolved that
Yeah.
that we like can't settle on a place. Yeah. So fascism, Jurassic.
Perfect movie. Anyways.
Perfect movie.
They have a cute little bomb, which is the bomb that's wind up.
Okay.
And he has little Reeboks on.
Product placement.
Yeah.
So okay, so I don't remember bombs from the video game. Are those a part of the video
but
game?
bombs.
Yeah, they
big.
walk around. They're more of like, I guess, a Mario
They do
3
walk.
thing.
So
But yeah,
okay.
they walk around.
So that's another part of canon. And then in the background, when something gets shot, there's like a neon sign that says swamp, which is one of the little things that squash.
Yeah, it's this like big box that comes down, and it has a face. So when it hits the ground, it like grimaces.
Yeah, exactly. So Kelly, when you ask for canon, like that's it.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
there's not a ton in this movie. Like Toad, gets devolved. Like Goombas are Goombas, but it's not following. It's not like heavy canon. Like they're like little pieces.
Do Goombas have a dance obsession in
No.
the game?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they
That was
just,
just
I mean,
invented for the
they
movie. I
do
like
they do
it.
pace back and forth in a confined
They do.
space, but they're also very Newtonian in that if in motion, they'll stay in motion unless they bump into
see.
something.
Okay. Just everybody was so scared of that little bomb.
Yeah,
that was a
yeah.
great
It
bit
is
in the
adorable.
movie.
There's like a bomb.
Like it's just a little tiny, like 2-inch tall bomb, and every time it shows up in a room, people are like, it's the bomb, and they run away. That's very funny.
It's a little wind-up toy.
It's just
like
a little
it's
wind-up
not like
toy.
and then you're like, okay, this is fine.
I don't know. I felt like that, like I don't know the game, and I felt like that worked really well. So perfect movie. It's cute, it's effective, it's very funny.
There's
like,
legit tension
10 out of
because it
10.
falls places and you're like, oh no, it's not going to get to Koopa like we need it to.
Yeah.
And it keeps like sort of stumbling around, but then it sort of Looney Tunes its way into doing what it's supposed to do anyway, which is great.
Well, and it felt like it was like a targeted missile. Like it knew who it was after, and it's just like going this like huge circuitous route to get there. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
The main Scarpelli gets turned into a monkey. So
That's right.
he gets de-evolved with a gun, and everybody in Dino Hatton thinks that, and by everybody I mean King Koopa. I don't know if it's everyone. Obviously Toad would be more accepting. They are very anti-mammals. Mammal, hold the mammal.
Yes, I did like
On the pizza.
there's a scene earlier in the movie where we catch a glimpse of like the marquee in front of a movie theater. And it says like, oh gosh, it's like the name of a horror movie that we have. It's like, I became a teenage werewolf is what we have.
Yeah.
But theirs was like, I became a teenage mammal. And I was like, oh, you guys. But I also liked the scene where they de-evolved because it was sort of a commentary even on like people who don't believe in evolution. Like he seemed a little bit surprised that they were monkeys. He was like, ha, monkeys, we were right. Loved it.
I was a
Great.
little scared during that. I was like, man, chimpanzees aren't something to bring on to. I've been like, that was a risk. Throw that in. What is that movie that happened where it was like a girl and a chimpanzee and it was just the entire movie? Dunstan
checks in.
Yeah, is that it?
That is a movie. I don't.
Is there a chimpanzee in it?
Yeah, that's where they're in a hotel, I think.
Yeah, is that concerning? Should they have had a child near a chimpanzee?
No, they absolutely should not have, because chimpanzees are vicious.
Jason Alexander, Faye Dunaway, Rupert Everett.
Wow.
Are you kidding?
Quite a cast. Paul Rubens.
What?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good Pee-wee?
The worlds unmerge. They
Mhm.
re-separate.
Well, because Luigi uses his plumber tools to yank the tiny meteorite necklace
It's a
out of the
corkscrew.
big
It looks like a corkscrew.
corkscrew. It looks like a corkscrew. So he corkscrews out the tiny meteorite necklace out of the big meteorite, and we undo the merging.
And then we return to normal, such that it is.
Such that it is.
Luigi's having a hard time with maturity at the end of this movie.
I did like
Well-
that. I did like that at the end where Luigi, she was like, I have to stay. I have to figure out where I belong. And he's like, but no.
Yeah.
But we
That's-
want to like date, right? Like you
but
want to date
I-
me.
Come back.
I
And
want
he was
to
like,
be
she was like,
with
my
you.
father's here. I just met him. And she's like,
He's a mushroom.
come on. He's now a person. At the end, he is like, I love them plumbers.
Yeah.
Also, how did that break the spell of de-evolution? He didn't get evolved. I don't understand.
Yeah, they didn't like do a thing. Yeah, it just
Yeah,
It
it
just
was
I think
immediately was like, I'm a person now. And I was like, that's
Yeah, it was
fair.
like
That's fair.
Vampire rules.
the
one-
Makes you-
Well, like, the reason that Koopa evolved was because he took the evolution from the king. And then whenever he de-evolved, the
Oh.
king was able to evolve because that evolution that existed in spirit has been transferred onto the king.
Let's go with that. So that theory is that there's like a net, like a finite amount of evolution we can
Evolution.
have. And so it's like you mentioned Newton earlier. This is like a no
Mhm,
energy can be
mhm.
created or destroyed. Yeah.
yeah, conservation of
Yeah.
energy.
No, this
We
all
get there.
tracks. This all
Yeah.
tracks. Yeah.
This
for sure.
explains why there were not bug people. There are bugs here. They've been around a long time, but we used up all of their evolution, becoming
Yeah.
us.
Well, and cockroaches really found like a stasis in their
Yeah.
evolution. You
Yeah, they
know?
were like, "Hey, look, we got this locked down.
Yeah, we're
Mhm.
covered.
We're gonna hang
We can
out."
handle every situation. We're done. No need to progress. I do like, though, that at the end, Princess is like, I have to stay. And Luigi is like, but I like you. And Mario is like, if you really loved her, you would let her do the
go.
thing and we can just go. Like, Mario fucking gets it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, Mario gets it from top to bottom. That's what's
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
about Mario. Like
Yeah,
he
Mario
understands
rules.
how to talk to women. He understands how to respect women.
Yep.
He understands how to take a woman out on a good date. And
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, other than like he
And
probably
to
should have
save women.
walked Daniela to her door instead of just saying goodbye from the street. But whatever, like he couldn't have anticipated interdimensional kidnappers.
Well, and
happens.
because, right, you don't want to be overbearing. Like, let me walk you to your door. No,
Yeah.
I can make it from the
No
sidewalk.
pressure.
Like,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, he trusts her.
That's
She can
fair.
handle her own shit. And it just so happens that these dorks came and grabbed her. But I even liked this like ending scene where she's cooking dinner for them, he's cooking dinner for them, and he like comments on her dress, and he's like, oh, is that a new dress? I like it. And she's like, that's what you said the last time I wore it. Like, oh, Mario, you're a sweetie. Cutie patooties. Yeah.
Mhm.
Even though that relationship appears perfect when Samantha Mathis shows up
Mhm.
dressed as if a war has been going on in Mushroom Kingdom for 6 years.
Yep.
It's been
But
3
it's been
weeks.
3
by the
weeks.
way. It's been 3
3
weeks.
Yeah. They were like, thank God she came back. I've been ready to go. They're like riled up. They're ready to go back.
They made friends. Like
They made
it's
pals.
they're like, I just want to go see my friends from summer camp. I want to see how Toad is doing. You did evolve him, right?
Yeah.
You did evolve him, right? Yeah. It's like going back to be like, let's make
Yeah,
sure you get
did
your
she?
shit together. Damn. What about the other ones with glasses? They need it. They need to
Yeah.
they need to be evolved.
Huh.
The proletariat's gonna rise up. Maybe they're going to fight the proletariat. Oh God, no.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
no.
no. That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. This is a perfect film.
But it might not have been a perfect sequel.
It might not have been a perfect sequel.
This movie ends with a power ballad titled Unreal by Roxette. They
Mm.
call it out right before the credits start. They're like, you're going to listen to Unreal by Roxette now. And then we listen to that song while the credits play. And while looking at the credits, because I read a fair amount of the credits, I found out that both Frank Welker and Dan Castellaneta did voices in this.
I don't know who they are.
Dan Castellaneta does Homer Simpson's voice on The
Oh.
Simpsons. He was the narrator the whole time.
Oh, thank God.
This
I
is a
think that
perfect
might be our
segue.
next episode.
What? What a great idea. What an expert tie-in that we would do. And Frank Welker does like the voice of Shaggy
What?
in Scooby-Doo.
I'm glad you got to explain that because I said what? I was like, do you think I don't know who Shaggy is?
Garfield's voice. He does a voice on
What?
Curious George.
He's Garfield's voice?
I mean, he could have been saying it wasn't him.
This is
Could have
crazy.
said it wasn't me.
Oh, wait,
he
sorry.
did a voice
did you
in
just do a
Aladdin.
Shaggy the song
Yeah. Uh-huh.
joke? Okay.
He could have been that Shaggy. That's what I'm saying.
Wasn't me, etc.
He was on Animaniacs and Tiny Toons also.
Oh.
Whoa. Wait, so who were they in this movie?
He was listed as voices.
Just like Goomba voices.
So he must have done various like background cartoon voices. He might have been the Brooklyn dinosaurs in the beginning. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But I was just like, whoa, like there's legit hidden secret people in this too. This
It's
is
a
a wonderful
trip.
movie. And I can't wait to watch
It's a
it again
wonderful
because it
movie.
really is, especially because now it is a anti-fascist, pro-proletariat.
So weird.
It's a call to arms movie. It's phenomenal.
This movie just grew with me. It meant to me so much when I was younger. Just the weird stuff. And it taught me morals about like, you know what? Reach for your dreams. It's okay. And always carry your tools with you.
Do you think that this movie is part of why we're
It's why I'm always over prepared all the time.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think so. I think that this movie contributed to our like
It's why I carry a wrench.
morals. Like I think
It's foundational. It's legitimately foundational.
And when I was younger, I was like, I don't know what they're talking about with the proletariat, but that's a word. And now I'm an adult and I'm like,
That's me.
I didn't understand the vocab.
fascism, dictatorship.
You know,
I get it. I get it.
like the language I didn't understand, but I understood the like themes.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in my heart. I
Did it
understood
all
it.
connect? No. The movie was very disjointed. Was it wonderful? And did every part of it
Yes.
make my heart flutter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm saying it's 5 out of 5 Debs for me. I can't
It's
like
5 out of 5 Debs. Yeah.
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 It's
for sure.
5 out of 5 Debs. Like we're
Yeah,
not gonna
it's
bury
5 out of
that
5
lead at
Debs,
all.
yeah.
This is a 5 out of 5 situation.
I sort of feel like we
Absolutely.
should have just said that at the top.
if
Yeah,
you
like,
took out
could've-
the
look,
5
maybe
out of 5 Debs.
I'll just
Yeah.
cut everything before now. We'll just say 5 out of 5
Yeah,
Debs.
if they cut out the scene where they go through the frozen pipe on the mattresses, I might give it a 4 out of 5 Debs. But that scene has made my heart just like whenever he puts that wrench down and it gets the
Oh,
Goombas
God.
off of the
Yeah.
mattress, I was like, this is a perfect movie.
Yep.
That was the moment. That was
Perfect
the
film.
moment.
Okay, but did you guys watch to the post credits?
What? Oh, wait, what?
The post credit scene with Spike and what's his face?
Oh no, with Spike and Iggy? There's a post.
This
What do
is
they
a
say?
joke.
What do they do?
Oh my god!
Oh my god. I don't watch post-credit scenes. I didn't know there was one. No,
There's
you're
a
fucking with us.
post-credit scene. I'm not.
You
I'm
are
not.
too.
I
I'm
am
watching
not.
it right now. I pulled it up, and if you're lying, we will know.
I'm not lying.
I'm at the last minute. It's talking about Wilmington, North Carolina, the state of North Carolina. Thank you. Sound
Mhm,
effects.
mhm.
Great. Nate, you said you watched the credits. Is Kelly lying? I feel
I
like
didn't-
she's
I
lying.
didn't
There's
watch
still
all the
50
credits.
seconds left.
I'm not lying. There's a post credit scene.
There is 50 seconds left. Oh my god. I'm just gonna quote it out loud. This seems racist.
I don't remember it being racist, but my only notes are like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen
Oh my
this," and I
God!
don't remember what they were.
They're like in full on Florida, like they're wearing like
Yeah.
straw hats
Yeah.
and fun colors, and they're talking to two Asian fellows.
I feel like oh gosh,
Are
I
they
didn't even
offering
clock
them
that they were
rights to
Asian.
movies?
I
It did
did
happen.
not
You
take better
didn't make
notes
it up.
because I was like, Chelsea knows this, and like,
I unfortunately did not. I'm sure I did. It does seem familiar now that I've looked at it.
Chelsea,
but
you'll put
I
it on
don't know what
TikTok,
happens.
right? You'll
I
put it on
will,
a
I will,
TikTok.
for
Yeah.
sure,
Right.
for sure.
yep,
You'll see it there.
there's
It's
a
not
post
like
credit scene.
No one's
Surprise.
gonna like challenge that in the rights because it's not available anywhere.
It's time for the mouth guard report.
The Mouth Guard Report.
haven't done my impressions, but I do think I have a wisdom tooth coming in. But the last time I went to my dentist, they were very hard on pushing Invisalign and not focusing on the fact that I have a bunch of wisdom teeth coming in. So
great.
I'm having some trouble.
Coming in?
The healthcare system works.
Yeah, on this one, it's like, hey, so my wisdom teeth are doing the thing where they don't do this, but they do this.
So
And
for the
so-
home listener, they're not coming in up, down.
Up.
They're coming in diagonal down.
Yeah, they're coming in directly into my molars. They're just
Yeah, that's no good.
immediately attacking them. And they are definitely coming in on one side. So I am moderately irritable because of my teeth. Thank you for asking.
Do you want me to
Great
yank them when I come visit?
Yes,
yeah.
please do. I
Okay.
actually don't think I'd mind.
We'll put it on
Okay.
TikTok.
Yeah, we'll yank them. We'll TikTok it.
It'll be great.
I went to the dentist and they once again insisted that I need to get my wisdom teeth removed, but you can pry them from my cold dead hands.
Should we schedule something together?
No, I like
Wait,
mine.
you got
and
some
I'm
wisdom
keeping
teeth
them.
out? You've had
I'm-
wisdom teeth out?
Top boys, the bottom boys, they're staying.
I was like, I was there, Kelly. Like,
You
I
did.
was there.
Chelsea was so kind. She took me to the orthodontist, I guess. Yeah,
mouth
surgeon.
surgeon?
Mouth surgeon. No, these bottom boys, they stay in.
Okay, so so when you visit, we're gonna get the bottom boys together.
No, not mine. I'm being buried with these motherfuckers.
Oh gosh. Nate, how are your wisdom teeth? Do you have
Yeah.
them?
I don't have any. I think we talked about before. I had 6 and they were all removed.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
I had extras.
yeah.
I had extra wisdom teeth. But I am at time of recording, but not at time of release, going to the dentist tomorrow
Ooh.
for just a routine cleaning and a couple of
That's what
seats.
they always
So that
tell
should be
ya.
exciting.
Okay, well, you text us tomorrow and they
Yeah,
tell you
report it
you've got to
back.
remove additional teeth, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
I don't know what they're going to
You got too many mouths in here. We're gonna take 3 out.
And how's your Garf cart obsession?
Oh yeah, how's Garf Cart? Garf
I haven't
Brawl?
played. I haven't played a lot of Garf Kart in a while.
Nickelodeon
or,
Brawl?
Yeah, or Nickelodeon Brawl. I really haven't played. I haven't had a lot of video game time in the
That's
last
fair.
few days. So I've just been, just not. Didn't do it, but I will. I'll get back. I'll get back to it.
Please do. Please do.
And that was a Mouth Garf report. And now we're gonna play your favorite game. Your
Okay.
favorite game ever.
Yeah.
Yay.
Uh-huh.
It's the best game. It's.
Okay.
I see what you did there.
See what you did there.
Mhm.
Okay,
Favorite
these are
game.
all gonna be Mario related. I see what
Jesus
you did
Christ.
there.
Okay.
This is great. Or are you going to make it very hard?
It's gonna be both.
Okay. Okay.
Kelly, number 1.
No, I did number 1 last time.
Hey, don't yell at me.
You fucking killed it last time, Kelly. Are you kidding me?
Only on the first one. Okay.
No,
All
you
right.
won by like 3 points.
Only because I made a bad joke early in the episode and that okay, Nate, fine. What is it? What are the clues?
Number
What is it?
1. This red leather clad woman uses stompers to escape the Marios with the meteorite necklace and then sings Santa Baby while playing Catwoman from the 60s Batman TV series.
Okay. So it's Big Bertha.
Great. You see where I'm going?
I'm worried that I don't see where you're going so much as where we are.
See where we've been.
Oh boy. One of my BFFs loves Batman and has made me try to watch the old 60s Batman TV so many times and I fall asleep every time. And I know he's not listening to this, but if he were, he would be like, God damn it, Kelly. Okay. While playing Catwoman from this, I don't know, Bertha Johnson, Big Bertha Johnson.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess. Chelsea, do you know what I did here?
Yes, I do. It is. Can I give Kelly a hint?
Sure.
No,
Yeah, you
it's
can give
yours.
Kelly
It's
a hint.
you. Just say the answer. It's you. It's all
Okay, it's Big Bertha Kit.
You see what I did there. Big
She
Bertha
sees.
Kit.
you. That doesn't even mean anything to me.
Come
So-
on, she was in holes.
Yeah, I know you love holes. I don't know that I've ever seen it.
Eartha Kitt does an iteration of Santa Baby, and also played one of the 3 Catwomen.
Wait, her name is Eartha Kitt? It's not
Yeah.
Eartha Kitt?
It's
Yeah, it's
Eartha
Eartha.
Kitt.
It's Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt.
Yeah, great name.
Yeah, you're each getting a point. Number 2, Chelsea. This surname, which you've also heard as a first name, dates back to ancient Anglo-Saxon culture and takes its meaning from the profession of shoeing horses. And a basin wrench is used to connect this plumbing fixture to and from a sink, and not for tightening large bolts on water mains.
Can I just leave?
How you doing, Chelsea?
Yeah, not good. Absolutely not good.
So what would you connect to a sink?
Hi.
Oh, no.
What fixture would you connect to a sink?
Okay. It's not. What fixture would you connect to a sink?
Faucet.
That's what
Kelly
I
knows where I'm
said.
going.
Faucet.
You see what I did there, Kelly? Very good.
Is it Farrah
Oh,
Fawcett?
Farrah Fawcett. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so
you
I
see what
did
there.
see it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, farrier is the like horse thing. Okay.
Yeah. The
Oh,
Anglo-Saxon.
I would have gotten
name Farrah.
Fawcett. Can I get 1 point?
Yeah, no,
you
sorry.
both get a point.
I said it as a bit, not to like scoop points away from Chelsea.
Oh yeah, you're both working together, and you both get a point.
No, that's fair. You killed that. I was like, I don't know anything. Okay.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. Number 3, Kelly.
Oh no. Okay.
This member of the main cast of the film isn't a playable driver in the original Super Mario Kart, but they do make a popular BB gun coveted in A Christmas Story and the video game Fallout. Specific BB gun in the movie Christmas Story. What BB gun does the guy want? Does the kid
Didn't
want?
see it. I don't
Okay.
know. It's a brand name?
Yes, it
Could I
would be a
guess my
brand.
way
It would be a
into
brand and a model.
Chelsea, what have you got over there?
You actually know this one because there is a museum in downtown of the place you grew up. Sorry.
In the place what?
there
Where's
is
the
a-
museum?
I could be. So you said that was somebody. So I'm trying to figure out if this is correct. I can say it.
Say it.
Is it Daisy? Like Daisy Ryder
Oh, in
BB gun or
Rogers?
something?
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Is that
my
correct?
brother worked for that warehouse.
Because that was a Daisy BB gun, right? Like
yeah, they have
Yeah.
a warehouse in Rogers, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Okay.
And downtown Rogers has the museum for that BB gun, that specific BB gun.
Oh, I didn't know they had the museum. They
Yeah.
have a warehouse still.
I didn't know that. That
Yeah.
part I did not know. Well, the
Um,
more you know. If you ever want to visit Rogers,
the more you know, Rogers,
the more
Arkansas,
you know.
Daisy Museum and Warehouse.
So is it a Daisy Ryder gun,
So
or is like
Princess
what is it? Is
Daisy.
it Daisy?
It's a Red Rider, is what
Red
it is.
Rider.
So yeah.
Red
so
Rider.
what I was going for was Princess Daisy Red Rider,
Princess
Okay.
Daisy Red Rider.
Mhm.
Okay.
because Princess Daisy
Okay.
not playable on Super Mario Kart. The
I didn't
original.
have Princess, but I pictured Daisy in my head. Does that count?
Is
Yeah, of
Princess
course.
Daisy a character in the game?
She
Yeah.
does become a character in the game later.
Okay. Okay.
She's
Like-
the brunette princess.
Mhm.
I just thought
Yeah.
that we couldn't get like the rights to Peach. I don't know.
That might be true. I mean, originally in one of the earlier scripts, it was Hilda, which is not a character.
That's not a thing at all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hilda.
Okay.
So Daisy is an actual princess. Hilda, not a princess. Peach, a princess. But maybe they were expecting that to happen in the sequel.
Well, yeah, and in fairness, Peach canonically pairs off with Mario. Daisy
Mhm.
canonically pairs off with Luigi. So I think they kind of went with what they were trying
Okay,
to do.
cute.
Right? They don't want the brothers crossing the streams or killing each other for
No,
one
we
princess.
can't Eskimo brothers the brothers. No, that's
Right.
gross.
No.
That wouldn't be super at all.
That, you're right.
Okay, number 4, Chelsea. Bob Hoskins claimed to experience hallucinations for months after filming this classic late 80s film. So it was almost as dangerous as a boxing and MMA banned blow to the back of the head, named for a technique used by hunters against unlucky buns. So what movie was Bob Hoskins in the late 80s?
Could you repeat that last
Yeah.
bit?
Mhm.
The second half.
So it was almost
Yeah.
as dangerous as this boxing and MMA banned blow to the back of the head, named for a technique used by hunters against unlucky buns.
Kelly, anything at all. Anything
Literally,
at
the
all.
only thing I'm thinking right now is like bopping them on the heads, like the from the
Sock and bobbing.
fairy tale.
Oh,
Like, what is it? It's like
Little bunny foo foo.
little bunny foo foo
Yeah.
hopping through the forest. That's
so
all I'm
Roger
thinking.
Rabbit foo foo.
Well, I mean, yeah,
That's
yeah.
all right. That was it. Was that late 80s or early? Was that just 90s?
That's got to be 80s.
Was that 80s?
I think it was 89 or 90. Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
89.
I'm
Roger
gonna be
Rabbit
honest.
foo foo.
I
Rabbit Bop. Roger
Do
Rabbit
not know
Bop.
who Bob Hoskins is apart from Mario. Like, I don't know.
He
anything
also
else
played
that
a
he's
plumber
done.
in Brazil. Is it Brazil? Does it start with Brazil? Brazilian jiu-jitsu. That's not right at all. I don't know.
Capoeira.
You were
Hold on.
closest with Rabbit Bob.
Oh, okay.
I was looking for Who Framed Roger Rabbit Punch. So
Rabbit
a rabbit
punch?
punch. A rabbit punch is literally
It's like,
like
boo-boo,
you punch a guy in the
boo-boo,
back of
boo-boo.
the back of the skull, but it's also the way that
That's
hunters
weird.
would put rabbits out of their misery when they caught them in little traps.
They would punch them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they-
Hunters
like a-
punched rabbits?
did
Well,
they
yeah, or
punch
like
him?
they had like a butt of their rifle or something, but
I
they
don't-
called it a rabbit punch.
I'm gonna just disagree with this one. You know what? Chelsea 3 points, Nate 0 points.
Hey, I don't look. If you think I'm winning anything from this, I am not. You both have 4 points now, and because you've been working so well together, I have a fifth question for you this week. Okay,
So we work together.
We're
Yep.
being punished for
We
our
sure are.
teamwork.
you're gonna love this one though. This one's great. Dino Hatton compounds dinosaur and Manhattan as an example of this French word that itself combines the words for carry and coat, and it's combining with the award John Leguizamo received in 2018, not for Latin History for Dummies, but for his career contribution to the theater.
Wait, okay, hold on.
Tony.
Okay, Portmantoni.
Yeah, Portmantoni Awards. You see what I did there?
Nice. Good high five.
Very good. Very good. You got 5 points each. That's the most that you have both scored. And I see what you did there ever.
Yes. Oh, that was so hard.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So as we said, 5 out of 5 Debs. That's it.
5 out of 5 Debs.
5
Yeah.
out of 5 Debs.
Hell yeah. And next time we're going to talk about the first episode of The Simpsons.
Which I'm excited
If
about.
we don't talk about Mario Bros again.
Yeah. We're also going to talk about Mario Brothers again.
But I am excited to talk about the first Simpsons.
Yeah, I haven't seen any Simpsons, but I know that the early seasons are weird, so I'm excited.
The
learn.
animation's super weird.
I've seen like images, so I know that it's
It's
weird.
weird
but
that you
I'm
could
excited.
avoid the Simpsons. That part's
Well,
weird to me.
So here's what it is I'm better than you, and I just read books as a
Fair.
kid, so
I did not read. That's
Hair flip.
accurate.
Kelly's one of those people who's like, I don't own a TV.
I don't
so
own
I'm
a
not familiar
TV.
with what you're talking about.
I'm gonna watch TV right after we sign off.
Listeners, if you like this podcast, subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you find us, and reach out to us at debutbuddies@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We will read things you say to us
We
on
will.
the podcast. How would you like this
100%.
podcast to be another 30 to 40 minutes longer? It can be if you give us other things to say. We'll do it. We'll talk more. You can also follow us. We have a couple of Facebook. We have a Facebook group and Facebook page. You can go check those out. Debut Buddies, and the Debut Buddies podcast online group thing. And I guess if Twitter still exists and maybe whatever. Look, you can find us places. We're around.
Right, just give us a Google, get on your social medias, and just give it a search. Maybe that'll be us. Maybe it won't.
I mean, if it's not us, hopefully it's a really quality parody of us.
Oh, that'd be
Perfect.
fun.
Yeah, right.
That would be
someone,
more fun.
someone cosplaying as us. Imagine the
Oh.
possibilities. If you like our theme song, check out Michael J. O'Connor's music by visiting michaeljoconnor.bandcamp.com. He also has a band called The Listening Post, and you can find them through the same sort of Googling apparatus that exists. And if you like science fiction, Spaceboy Books, read spaceboy.com.
And if you like horror, Never Show the Monster. That's another podcast that Chelsea and I host where we talk about horror movies.
We watched the Super Mario Brothers movie, and it was the best thing that ever happened
It
to
was
us.
so good.
And it was the best thing that ever happened to you, too. If
You're
you can
welcome.
find it, you're just going to have to search your entire life for it, and maybe
I'm-
go to Japan.
I will say that it is to purchase $3.99 on Amazon. I'm not trying to promote Amazon, but I am trying to promote that you need to purchase a DVD.
Super Mario Brothers. Bye, buddies.
Bye.
Bye.